Welcome back to Double V Strategic. I'm very smiley today. Those that know me personally know I'm excited to do this video. Today is the day. Today, we're going to be talking about two rifles that refuse to fade into the background, despite the internet's obsession with whatever's newest, lightest, or most modular, the HK MR556A1 and MR762A1. Some people call them overpriced, some people call them outdated, but the truth is, these rifles are still relevant today, and I'm going to show you exactly why. Comic books have taught us that origin stories matter. So we're going to touch on that just a little bit to set the vibe. Honestly, I want you to emotionally connect with these rifles like I do. And if you don't, I'm feel some type of way. To understand why these rifles still matter, you have to understand where they come from. The MR556A1 and 762A1 aren't just random commercial guns. They're civilian adaptations of the HK416 and 417. These rifles weren't designed to win Instagram polls. They were designed to win wars. The HK416 literally changed the direction of Western small arms development. It forced the industry to rethink reliability, gas systems, and durability. The MR series rifles carries that DNA, and that heritage still means something. HK build quality is kind of one of the places they kind of tip their hat. So let's talk construction, because this is where HK flexes. The MR556A1 uses a cold hammer forged, heavy profile barrel that's overbuilt to a degree most companies won't touch today. The MR762, same story, just bigger. HK's barrel manufacturing is still among the best in the world. These rifles are engineered for extreme round counts, extreme heat, and extreme abuse, even if they are not chrome lined. And I know you people get on the chrome line. And yes, they're heavy. Let's not BS about that. But that weight isn't wasted. It's stability. It's heat management. It's longevity. These rifles were built for a world where reliability wasn't optional. Another area where HK tips their hat at is the piston system. So let's talk about the operating system. The short stroke piston system, in current market today, many companies have the short stroke piston system with a buffer system attached. But in my opinion, no one does it like HK. Now, direct impingement has come a long way. Modern DI guns are incredibly reliable. I am throwing no shade toward DI guns or their users. But HK's short stroke piston system still offers advantages, especially for shooters running suppress, shooting high round counts, or operate in harsh environments. The piston system keeps the bolt carrier group cooler and cleaner. It reduces gas to the face. It's consistent. And while it's not the lightest or softest, it is one of the most durable. Can't talk about HKs without mentioning accuracy. So now, as we move on toward accuracy and consistency, I'm not quite sure where this rumor started, but I have heard people say piston guns can't shoot. But the MR556A1 routinely delivers sub-MOA performance with good ammo. And honestly, I have shot sub-MOA at 100 yards with 55 grain X-Tac ammo. The MR762A1 shoots sub-MOA groups with M80 ball ammo, which is your base 147 grain 7.62x51 ammo. So I am not seeing the parallel here of piston guns can't shoot. And I would love to get some B-roll footage of these groupings, but I live in Northwest Indiana and it's freezing. Like, we were colder than Antarctica 2 weeks ago. But there is a ton of accuracy footage out there for these rifles. But this is something I would like to revisit when the weather breaks. But here is a little B-roll footage from Fast Metal Range for you. These rifles are fun on the bench rest, but they're not built for that. They're built for repeatable accuracy under heat, stress, and movement, and they deliver. These rifles consistently make me better than what I am. When I have either of these rifles in my hands, I just have to float the dot and make the shot. So the relevance in 2026. So why are these rifles still relevant today? Because I said so. Nah, I'm joking. But because they represent something in the industry that the industry is slowly moving away from. Overbuilt, no compromise engineering. You even see HK building more modern rifles for the American civilian market with the release of the A4 series. The A4s are awesome rifles. They are more modern and lighter, but they don't offer the presence of the A1 that the A1 series offers. Imagine you pull up to your favorite hotel and there sits a 1967 Cadillac Eldorado. Now you get what I'm saying? Everyone, and I mean everyone, even if you don't know what that car is, you still look. Today's market is obsessed with lightweight builds, modularity, and cost efficiency, and that's fine. But the HK A1 series of rifles are reminders that durability, reliability, and engineering pedigree still matter. They're not trying to be everything to everyone, which is a romanticized way of saying they ain't for everybody. That was never their intent. Their intent was to be the best at what they're designed to do. And for shooters who value that, who want a rifle that feels like a precision machine tool rather than a bunch of parts put together, these rifles still make sense. So I have both rifles right here in front of me, so I'm going to go over the builds before I close. And what better way to go over a build than starting tip to butt? So the MR556A1 is going to be first. I have a hydrogen L suppressor on it. It's a 30 cal can with the ASR mount. Magpul bipod. And I also have the Cloud Defense rain light with the switch attached. This is the stock handguard. I do have Magpul rail covers type 2 on there. So give me some grippy surface when I C-clamp. Magpul vert grip as well, just as muscle memory placement. There's a 2-stage trigger in here. That's the stock one. I left it alone because I actually enjoy the 2-stage trigger. And I also enjoy being able to put it on safe with this trigger package, whether it's the hammers dropped or not. Now, this optic on top is a Trijicon 1-10 Credo. This optic is really, really, really great at 1x and really good at 10x, which is a very tough feat for LPVO companies to accomplish. But Trijicon did an amazing job at it. This optic is really good to the point where it probably should have its standalone video, which is something we may do in the future. At the butt end of it, you have the HK stock, which I know a lot of people don't like because it's really fat and it catches your beard hairs, but I love it. Let's move on to the MR762A1. Now, starting at the tip, we have the Ventum 762. Now, this is about 14.5 ounces, so piston guns are inherently heavy, so it does make it a little front heavy, but it's perfect for this build. Have an Atlas bipod, which is a must for 308, just because it provides more stability than the Magpul when you're shooting a heavy caliber rifle. I run the Surefire X400 Ultra. It's simple, it's lightweight, and it gives me a laser option until I get my RMR. Also have a Magpul vert grip on this. Same 2-stage trigger. I like the 2-stage trigger just for the same reasons. And honestly, they're really good. Geisley does make a trigger for both of these, but I didn't see the need to spend that type of money to upgrade the trigger. On top of this rifle is the Trijicon TA55A. AKA, in my book, it is the best ACOG and is not talked about. I don't understand why. It's a 5.5 fixed magnification ACOG, and the eye relief is significantly better than the 4-fix ACOG. It is just a beast of a rifle, has a 308 BDC reticle, and it's a really awesome optic. And then you have the HK stock on the butt end. So yeah, the HK A1 series, they aren't cheap, they're not light, they're not the trendiest of rifles on the market, but they're still relevant because they deliver something timeless: reliability, precision, and engineering excellence. If you want a rifle that will outlast you, that has real history behind it, and that still performs at the highest level, these rifles deserve a second look. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Gratitude is the posture that I like to operate out of, so I'm grateful for the time you spent with me today. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Hit those buttons, please. And remember, Jesus Christ has a love for you that refuses to be untold. Until next time, blessings and peace.